Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. The shotgun, the ultimate multi-tool. Before I begin this video, I would like to state this flat out. I realize that in a very huge swath of the United States and a lot of other countries, there's so much open prairie and grasslands and desert and so forth where the distances involved in taking game for survival or even in a combat scenario will be so great that a shotgun would not really be the tool for that. A really good rifle and a lot of practice and the fundamentals of marksmanship and so forth would be absolutely critical and vital in those regions. So this video, I still consider the shotgun the ultimate survival tool for just about anywhere else, okay? And for home defense and on your homestead, your outbuildings and so forth usually are not so far away from the house. Who the hell wants to walk 200 yards to their barn, you know what I'm saying? But the shotgun, in my opinion, because of its versatility, and I will get into that here in a few moments, I think it is and should be considered the ultimate survival tool, ultimate multi-tool. So without further blah blah blah, we will get down to the heart of the matter. The shotgun is the ultimate multi-tool and as such is the ultimate survival tool. Why? The answer is threefold, ladies and gentlemen. First, because of the huge array of ammunition that is commonly available for the shotgun. Any shotgun can easily be configured for many given roles simply by choosing the best ammunition for the purpose. The ability of most hunting or general purpose shotguns to have its barrel tailored to specific loads with interchangeable choke tubes or quick change barrels make it even more versatile. Second, compared to handguns or rifles, shotguns are generally more affordable. The ammunition generally is also less expensive. However, did some research here while I was prepping for this video. The M4 Benelli that the U.S. military uses, which is a gas-driven shotgun, semi-automatic, lists for $2 grand. So that is not always the case. But a pump shotgun and a single shot are definitely generally a lot cheaper. The third reason, power. A 12 gauge 1 ounce slug equals 437.5 grains. And it leaves the barrel at about 1,600 feet per second on average. On impact, it delivers a massive blow to its target. The federal 3-inch Magnum law enforcement slug leaves the bore at 1,900 feet per second and at 100 yards impacts with 1,775 pounds or foot-pounds of energy. Nearly 500 foot-pounds of energy more than a .458 SOCOM round, which is has 5 times more power than a 5.56 millimeter round. Absolutely devastating. Here at the Shade Tree Survivalists, we call that thump. In this video, I am going to tell you my specifications for a survival/combat shotgun. I will also lay out why I chose the Mossberg 590 12 gauge shotgun over the competition. Some, if not all, you may consider essential for your own shotgun for defensive needs. Some items you may not have considered or may have thought were a mere gimmick. So let me give you Mac Daddy's specifications for a combat shotgun, what I had to have in order to purchase the gun. Number one, it should be in 12 gauge because police departments as well as military, the U.S. military, use the 12 gauge. They don't use any other gauge shotgun except possibly in training to cut down costs. Number 2, the chamber. The length of the chamber where the shell resides before you pull the trigger and eject it. The chamber should be a minimum of 3 inch. Okay, that is what 99% of the cartridge or the shot shells will be that you can get your hands on. There are 3.5 inch magnums in the 12 gauge shot shells. However, there are only a few guns that are capable of withstanding that round or handling it. The receiver has to be about 1/2 inch longer, and of course the chamber in the barrel, it has to be a little thicker because you're pushing a little bit heavier shot for higher pressures. Not a good thing. If you shoot that in the wrong barrel, you could rupture the barrel. Don't want to do that. But my specification is a minimum of a 3 inch chamber. Barrel length, at least 20 inch barrel, no more. Make it fast handling, easy to aim and so forth. Also makes for a lighter weight shotgun. This is something I did not actually specify, but as I did research over the years, I found out that a barrel with any type of restriction, a choke, or that the barrel itself is already choked down, tends to warp the Foster type slugs and so forth. Okay, and they are not as accurate. They will still go and so forth, even have a slightly higher velocity, but they're not as accurate because the constriction on the barrel actually warps the slug. So a cylindrical bore if you'll be shooting Foster type slugs. Number 4, magazine capacity, a minimum of 5 up to 8. Okay, any more than that and the gun gets so damn front heavy, it's hard to aim and so forth for your average size adult, male or female. Of course, if you can handle more than that, more power to you. Action type, pump. Why pump? They're reliable, they're fast, you don't have to worry about cleaning them as often as a gas operated. They're not finicky about the load that you put in them. Certain gas operated shotguns such as the Sega 12 and others that do not have an adjustment, they require only certain shotgun shells because some can overgas and possibly damage the gun, and some can undergas and not reliably operate it. The action should also have an open loading port, such as on the 590 here. Let me go ahead and get up and do this versus zooming the camera in. You can see there's no spring-loaded gate. Okay, it's open, easy to put the next round right into the magazine tube. Okay, not a problem. That was one of my specifications. Do not like the spring-loaded gates that are common on the Remingtons and other shotguns. So that was one of my specifications. All right, also included in the action would be the dual action bars, okay, that connect the pump to the bolt. Okay, this one has one on each side, so they're dual action bars. And another thing is the shell extractor that actually hooks the back of the shell and pulls it out of the breech. This one has 2 instead of just 1. So very durable, very reliable. Number 6, sights. Yeah. A BB's fine for buckshot and so forth, but for precise aiming with a single projectile, such as a slug or a sabot slug, iron sights are a necessity. Fully adjustable, and I also wanted to be able to see the front sight in very dim lighting, so I had a tritium insert. I purchased a tritium insert with the front sight on the Sage sights that I purchased for the shotgun. Number 7, Sling. You damn right. This bitch is 13 pounds with all the crap added to it. It was just over 7 empty weight. Then I added the sights, the side saddle, the rear butt cuff, and of course a bayonet. We'll get into that in a moment. The butt stock, solid only. Now they make a solid one that is speed feed. It has, I think, 4 or 6 shells in it. That didn't come with mine, and I'm not going to spend extra money for it, but a solid butt stock for popping somebody inside the damn head in a combat situation. Heat shield, abso-freaking-lutely. All right, you just went through 25 to 50 shot shells in a very short amount of time. The barrel is smoking freaking hot. If you were to wrap your thumb around it while you're grasping the shotgun, you can burn the hell out of your hand, okay? This part of your hand and your thumb. That would not be a good idea. So the heat shield is a must. Bayonet lug, abso-freaking-lutely. Mossberg 590 has a bayonet lug right up here. The front sling swivel is attached to it. Bayonet, absolutely. Any bayonet that will fit an M16 AR-15 type rifle will fit a Mossberg 590. The loop that goes around the flash suppressor goes over the magazine cap, or the magazine tube cap. Alright, it screws on the end of the magazine that holds the spring and the spring follower in place. Removable barrel, abso-freaking-lutely. You take the magazine cap that I was just speaking about off, move the slide about halfway to the rear, which disengages the bolt from the barrel extension, and the barrel slides right off the damn end. And you can easily access the barrel to clean it, both ends. You can clean the interior, the face of the bolt and so forth. The magazine tube without the cap, you can pull the spring right out and the follower, and you have 100% unfettered access to clean out the magazine tube. Say you dropped it in the mud or the water, take it apart real easy, clean it. Removable magazine cap, just covered that. That's number 13. Yes, absolutely. Number 14, operator disassembly. It is fairly easy. If you have the book handy, it's not that big a deal. On this particular gun, you'd have to take the side saddle off, take one big screw out here, push out one pin, the trigger root folds right out, pops out of the way, and then all the rest of it comes out fairly easily and can be put back fairly easily. Number 15, accessories. There are plenty of accessories that will fit a Mossberg 500 or 590. The receiver exactly the same, the barrel is different, as well as the magazine tubes are different. There's stocks, side saddles, sights. They're already drilled, okay, and tapped, so you can mount a rail up here if you didn't want sights, but you wanted an optic, scope, whatever the case may be. Why you would want that on a cylindrical bore shotgun barrel. Shotgun, I just don't have any idea, but you could add a red dot or other type of sight if you so chose to do so. Stocks, you can get the collapsible stocks, the ones with the pistol grip. You can get the recoil reducing stocks that actually move in and out. There's a coil spring or something inside of them. The foregrip, you can get them with flashlights built in, Picatinny rails manufactured to them. A vertical foregrip, which I think is a bad idea, but that's just me. Like I already said, you can get these the standard 590 stock is actually a solid butt stock with the capability of holding extra rounds inside the stock without having to have a side saddle or a butt cuff like I do. Parts availability. Yes, you want the gun to be able to buy parts very quickly and easily. Just about any part on this thing, Midway USA, Brownells, Mossberg, all have these parts that you can buy quickly and easily, fairly inexpensively, and or upgrade. Mine has the original plastic trigger guard of the civilian variant of the 590. I can have the entire trigger assembly for about $100. I can have the metal one that they make. I think it's made out of aluminum. Alright, you may or may not agree with all of my requirements for your own shotgun. That is okay, ladies and gentlemen. As a hunting gun, the 590 is not the best platform because of its unrestricted cylindrical bore. It has no choke or constriction of the barrel, and at about 25 yards is its maximum range with standard 9 pellet double-aught buckshot. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about as the maximum on this thing, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3 in the paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 9 pellets, 6 of them completely missed. Okay, as you saw for yourself in the video footage I rolled in, at 25 yards, about only a third of the pellets hit the target. The target proper, the circle. 3 of the 9 pellets. Any further and the likelihood of hitting a bystander is very, very high. However, used on a mob or mass attack, such as the Chinese used in Korea and the Japanese used during World War II in their banzai attacks, it is possible to hit multiple attackers at once out beyond 25 yards, wounding them if not outright killing them, or perhaps disabling their firearms if some of the pellets struck their firearm. Human wave, meet my lead wall. It is my belief that if half the Marines and soldiers that were surrounded at the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir had scatter guns, there could have been a total slaughter of the Chi-Com forces. In many cases, the little commie bastards were able to sneak within 100 yards to even as close as 40 yards before being detected or beginning their damn bugle calls to attack. Again, human wave, meet my lead wall / lawnmower. You will probably never get a shotgun, regardless of the ammunition, to do what a rifle can do. Not in range nor in accuracy. However, by the same token, you will never get a semi-automatic rifle of any type to do what a shotgun can do at 100 yards or less. At 100 yards or less, a shotgun rules. In the right hands, using the correct ammunition, a shotgun can stop automobiles or kill anything that walks, crawls, or flies in North America. Simple as that. Now, the key to what makes a shotgun so versatile: ammunition. This is the key strength of the shotgun. Name the target. Birds, rabbits, squirrel, deer, bear, or man, there is a specific type of shot shell made for it. Distant room clearing. The military has developed a high explosive fragmenting round that has a proximity sensor to detonate it in the middle of a room. Door breaching. There's a round designed to disintegrate on impact but still blow off locks, doorknobs, and hinges without ricocheting and injuring the shooter or bystanders. You need to stop a car. Solid copper sabot slugs turn engine blocks into scrap metal, windshields into sieves, and drivers into headless horsemen. Need to stop a person with a mental disorder who's off their meds, but you don't want to kill them? Beanbag, rubber buckshot, tear gas, pepper. The pepper one is the active ingredients in pepper spray, but it's in a solid form and it strikes something and it sprays that mess out. It doesn't spray out immediately out of the barrel. It has to strike an object and pop open. So you shoot it at like a telephone pole or a wall and spray it down, and the wind would carry the rest of it into a mob or whatever the case may be. Alright, you catch a young whippersnapper sneaking around your daughter's bedroom window, sniffing around. Shoot that dude in the ass with some rock salt and that'll take care of that problem quick and in a hurry. As with nearly every war, the war on terror has had a dramatic effect on weapons and the ammunition they use. The M4 Benelli, for instance. A semi-automatic gas-operated twin-piston-driven shotgun is one such improvement, and the explosive round with the proximity sensor I just mentioned is another. Just punch in shot shell types into any search engine and take a look for yourself. New types of self-defense ammunition have also driven development on increasingly accurate, harder hitting, and longer range projectiles for shotguns. One day, if that day hasn't yet arrived, who knows? The ammunition manufacturers may take a page from the tank cannon playbook and develop fin-stabilized, armor-piercing, discarding sabot rounds made out of tungsten that can punch through armor like paper. Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Only time will tell. Regardless of what type of target you're wanting to shoot at, unless it's an intermediate to long range, shotgun can really do some damage. Like I said in this prepared statement, there's the development of the shotgun ammunition is just exploding. Like I said, punch it in, shot shell types, and you will just be blown away at all the different kinds of shot shells that people are manufacturing, besides the standard ones that are already out there. You have, let me get my list out right here right quick. Buckshot, triple alt, double alt, single alt, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 all are considered buckshot loads. Lead shot, aka bird and or small game shot. There's number 12, which is about the size of the point on a sharp pencil. Number 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5, 6, 5, 4, 2, and BB. Alright, BB is 0.18 of an inch in diameter, just a touch smaller, 1/1000th of an inch bigger in diameter than a air gun BB, which is 0.17. The larger the number, the smaller the projectile size, like I just stated. Number 12 is about the size of a pencil, and then BB is the size, is 0.18 of an inch in diameter. Let's talk about slugs for a little bit. The more modern ammunition that you can buy for a shotgun, specifically for shotguns like the ones that Mossberg and Remington are making with the rifle barrels, they have pistol and or rifle bullets inside a sabot, and after it leaves the barrel, within the first 10 yards or so, the sabot opens up and flies off, and the bullet continues on down range. The only way to stabilize them, though, would be to have a rifle barrel. They also make fin stabilized sabot rounds like the anti-tank rounds, but they're of course not designed for armor piercing, that look like a long dart, and they have fins on the end of it, and the fins are what stabilize it in flight. Okay, and of course, like I was saying, if they were to develop an armor penetrating sabot round, they also make them that look like a huge freaking pellet for a pellet gun. Okay, you got the flat top. I drew sort of a representation on this thing. Let me get up, and I should have made it the more flat top, because this is a version I saw online, but they also make them with a very flat top. But the way the skirt is designed is what stabilizes it. And then you have your old style Foster slug, and you have some of them that have rifling made into it. And I really thought that was a gimmick, but I was reading through my ballistics, one of my books on ballistics, and they actually do have them turning slowly. That helps stabilize them. Then of course you've got the explosive rounds that the military are using, and so much others. But for us in the home defense, or defending yourself in an attack from a superior force, buckshot and birdshot cannot be beat at short range. All right, once they get in like the old days during the Revolutionary War, do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes, and you can wear their butts out. So without further ado, I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to roll in some videos showing you some close-ups of the Mossberg 590 and why I chose it. Okay, but before I do, let's get down to the heart. Number 1, unobstructed. All right, loading port. Number 2, it has an 8-shot magazine with 2 3/4 inch shot shells. It has a 3-inch chamber on this particular version. It has the heat shield. It has the bayonet lug. When I purchased it, I got an M7 bayonet with it, and if you saw the bayonet part 1 through 3, you can see some of the devastating damage that can be delivered to a target. I had the Sage International iron sights put on it. Huge aperture ghost ring, and both the rear and front sight are protected in case you were to drop it onto a hard surface. They will not be damaged. The ears protect them. Also have a 6-shot side saddle on the left side of the receiver, as well as a 5-shell butt cuff that is held in place. I just cut a hole through it and I put the rear sling stud through it so it doesn't slide forward or to the rear. It has the double extractors on the bolt. It has the double action bars on the pump, and it is an outstanding freaking shotgun. End of argument. Plus, it's about 1/3 the cost, or even less than a brand new M4 Benelli. Just depends on how much money you want to spend and what you have in mind to do with it. But without further ado, I'm going to roll in some video footage, some close-ups of all the aspects of the 590, and I'm going to roll in some real short clip of the bayonet work that we did the other day, as well as some ammunition testing with birdshot, buckshot, 9 pellet buckshot and 15 pellet buckshot, short range and a little bit longer range. And the slugs were a disaster when I was shooting them. My sights were set too high and I just didn't want to waste a whole lot of them. But I've got some older footage from years ago when I first put the sights on. I'll throw that in there too also. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you can see what I see. The shotgun is a very versatile, very, very versatile, hard-hitting weapon system that in the right circumstances, you just cannot freaking beat it. This is MacDaddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivals. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care and have a great day. That's what you see. Basically how you see it when you look through the rear sight. The rear is an aperture, and it's very large hole, so it's basically a ghost ring. But you can see the front sight as well as the 2 ears that protect it. If you were to drop it on something really hard, it would protect it from being damaged. But it is tritium filled, and the camera will not pick it up in the dark, but if it would, it makes a nice little dot. I can see it 15 feet across the room in my bedroom at night, no problemo. Let me back the camera back off. Alright, you can see the rear sight. It is fully adjustable for windage and elevation, and it is protected by this big, huge hunk of steel. Okay. That's one thing I don't like about it. It's got a really tiny screw for the sight itself right there. And I immediately broke that damn thing trying to make sure it was good and snug, because it's very tiny. So once you get it set, it does not take much pressure at all. Just leave it the hell alone, because it's easy to break. That's the only thing. It's so sturdy in every other aspect, but that is not very sturdy at all. So once I got it zeroed, I left that baby alone. Okay, because that little tiny screw is so easy to break. But everything else about them are massive. I mean, very massive, and they will do the damn job. Okay, I got a better light source out so you can see this a little bit better. This screw and this long piece right here, this is your extractor. I mean, your ejector, excuse me. This is what actually kicks the rear of the shell around and kicks it out of the shotgun. Down here, you can see the elevator. When the shot shell is released, it kicks it over here on this elevator. Okay, this is with the bolt all the way to the rear, and as you pull it back forward, of course, it raises it up the shell right into the front, in front of, I should say, the bolt system. Okay, and you pull it forward, and it's already grasping it. Okay, and controlling it to a degree into the chamber where it will snap it all the way in. I don't think it's snapped all the way in because it's not stationary, but you get it all the way in, you bring it back out, and those dual extractors really are working it. But I have the follower and the magazine spring removed right now because I was just cleaning. I've got to finish wiping it all down, but I wanted to give you guys a real clear view of how that works. And you can see Mossberg, made in USA, North Haven, Connecticut, 590 12 gauge is what it says right there. And in order to remove the trigger group, to take the bolt and all out, you take out one screw, drive out one pin. It folds out at the rear because it hooks here in the front. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it's in the rear, but it hooks in there, and then you put the screw and the pin in it, and bam, it's done. Nothing to it. And there is a close-up of the rear Sage International rear sight. And you can also see the screws where it is already pre-drilled and pre-tapped. And there's two under here also. I utilize those. I had to modify the base and the sight base and this piece here in order to get it to work. But I used the existing screw holes, so I didn't have to have it drilled and tapped. But anywho, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there are the results. This must have been the wadding. We have, it looks like, two holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So maybe one of them missed, not unless it went into the same hole with this one. That definitely looks like 2 or 3 of them there. 1 and definitely 2 or 3 right there. It might have been 3 right there. Just a ton of damn damage. 7 yards away, 3-inch Magnum, Remington double-aught Buckshot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Winchester 2 3/4-inch double-aught Buckshot Super X load, high brass. And you can see that the wadding knocked the hell out of it. To the left. And I probably jerked it just a bit, so it's a little higher and right, but man, what a freaking mess that would have made if that had hit you in the chest or the head. I mean, all right, here's my hand. All right, you put your hand in the center of your chest, and you know you just got tore up. You got 3 in a line, 3 in a line, 3 in a line. That is bad to the damn bone. Don't care who you are, that's bad to the bone. And of course, if the wadding hits you, it may not kill you, but it'll sure knock hell out of you. Okay, let's get it with the other camera. You can see a very good pattern. Maybe 3 hands wide, 2.5 hands wide for the majority of it. And then of course down here you've got where the wadding hit it. And it looked like it went all the way through. Don't see the wadding, so it may have buried itself right into the damn ground. But you can see bird shot at 7 yards really held a good pattern. So let's stop the camera. We'll do the buckshot next. Woo! Good God, you see the fireball? Surrender hell. How about die?